You are not alone. Having a connection to others helps you understand that all of us can have good times, but that we all struggle too. Belonging is connection, support, comfort, and safety. And that is from a kid's book about belonging. I'd say it's a great book for grown-ups too. So that description about belonging, that it is connection, support, comfort, and safety, is not too different for sheep, who also find connection, support, comfort, and safety in their herd. I discovered there's something else about sheep and their relationships that invites a closer look for us. And I quote from Barbara Brown Taylor, an Episcopal priest, renowned author and preacher. She says, "Sheep seem to consider their shepherd to be part of the family, and the relationship that grows up between them is quite exclusive. They develop a language of their own that outsiders are not privy to." Perhaps this is what Jesus meant when he said, "I know my own, and they know me." Indeed, as his followers, our call and invitation is to be in such an intimate relationship with Jesus as this, that we are utterly devoted to him, reliant on him. We seek him and he seeks us. Practice and perseverance in prayer, we find ourselves speaking with him in ways that allow us to continue growing closer through all the steps of life. And although the language of our written prayers is indeed beautiful and exquisite, they can help us find the right words. We can be assured that Jesus hears and listens to us in whatever other words we use, and even when we use no words at all. But there's more. Jesus radically expands what it means for us to belong, and we human beings have a particular responsibility to pay attention to it. He said, "I have other sheep who belong to this fold. Bring them also, and they will listen to my voice. So there will be one flock, one shepherd." Jesus called on his disciples to live out and act out this message, which is one of radical inclusiveness. And he calls on us to do the same thing today. We, like sheep, find our sense of connection, support, comfort, and safety by belonging to the various communities and groups that we belong to. Yet too often, in our strictly human ways, the notions of exclusive relationships, of language, unspoken norms, and access that outsiders are not privy to, our habit of exclusion in the defense of our comfort and safety and connections, these get in the way of our part as followers of Jesus to bring others into the fold. to seek and serve him in all persons, to love those who are lost, to welcome those who have strayed, those who we might imagine are simply not the same kind of sheep that we are, those who we might imagine really don't belong to our herd. Belonging to God in Jesus, belonging to each other in community, belonging to that one and inclusive flock requires us to love, not just in word and speech, but in truth and action. It is a tall order. It is to lay down our life for another by laying down our preconceptions, our prejudices, our deep-seated ideas about who belongs and who doesn't. How do we begin? And how do we persevere? To begin, I encourage you to pay attention as you enter the campus of St. John's to the sign on the right, just past Brittany's garden. If you haven't been to campus for a while, come on over and see it. If you haven't stopped to look at the sign, drive by and stop, take a look. It says, love your neighbor, but there's more. Like Jesus did, it expands that circle to love others that we might imagine don't belong to this fold or that herd. It says, love your neighbor who doesn't look like you, who doesn't think like you, who doesn't love like you, who doesn't speak like you, who doesn't vote like you, who doesn't pray like you. Start with just one of these, the one that feels too hard. Pray on just one of these, the one that cuts too close, the one that made you feel that you didn't belong. This is how we begin to lay down our lives for one another. Jesus said, I am the good shepherd. I know my own and they know me. I have other sheep that do not belong to this fold. I must bring them also. So there will be one flock, one shepherd, and everyone belongs. Amen.